Declan McLean here with a look at our top stories.
And then I want you to take real action.
It's a global movement for a change in climate policy around the world. We'll meet some of the participants and tell you what it's all about. And Kentucky's most famous spirit now has a music festival to its name. We take you inside Bourbon and beyond. But first, let's head over to the Weather Center for your local Weather on the Ones, which starts right now.
The government should have been acting yesterday. Like, this isn't something that we should be fighting for as children.
It's a global movement for climate change. People of all ages, but mostly teenagers, took to the streets of their communities for a call to action to lawmakers. Climate change has been a hot topic this week, especially after a visit on Capitol Hill from Greta Thunberg, a 16-year-old environmental activist from Sweden.
Because I don't want you to listen to me. I want you to listen to the scientists. And I want you to unite behind the science. And then I want you to take real action.
And today, hundreds of thousands of people are striking across the world, from Indianapolis to Paris, Tanzania, and more. These strikes were organized by a group called Strike With Us. And Spectrum News 1's Eileen Street is in the studio to explain their goals.
The group Strike With Us says they are a coalition of youth and adult-led organizations with a focus on changing climate policy around the world. Their motivation comes from what they say are, quote, dire consequences of climate change. Their goal is to carry this attention on changing climate policy through the 2020 election. This worldwide strike comes right before two big climate change summits, the Youth Climate Summit on the 21st and the United Nations Climate Action Summit on Monday. The Youth Climate Summit is the first of its kind and is structured to give young people a platform to offer solutions to this ongoing issue. At the Climate Action Summit on the 23rd, there will be talks of using the Paris Agreement on climate change on a bigger scale. In the studio, I'm Eileen Street.
And here at home, hundreds of people across Louisville are using their voices to join the demand for action on climate change. They turned their focus locally at a rally organized by local high schoolers calling for a climate emergency declaration. Students are asking that all state politicians sign a #NoFossilFuelMoney pledge. Now, the city of Louisville has made a commitment to make changes, and Mayor Greg Fisher signed the pledge, promising to prioritize the health of the community over fossil fuel industry profits.
I feel like a lot of the time, like, climate change is really underrepresented, especially like in bigger politics in our world. Like, people are focused a lot more on economics and money than they are on climate change, and it's really something that needs to start changing.
Plus, social media was filled with photos and videos of people joining in on the strike. Spectrum News 1's been tracking the tweets. We've seen them in both English and Spanish. Plus, parents and children were marching together. As of last check, there were over 4,600 events taking place in 139 countries. And not only are students asking for action on climate change, some company workers are as well. Nearly 1,000 Amazon employees said they're participating in a walkout in the name of climate change. The group, known as Amazon Employees for Climate Justice, posted a letter online Monday, and here are some of their demands. They want Amazon to stop donating to politicians and lobbyists who deny climate change. They also want Amazon to stop awarding contracts to fossil fuel companies. Now, in a response, the company said reducing human-made climate change is, quote, an important commitment.